This is SportsCenter.
Hey, I'm Marissa Roberto on the Digital Sports Center, presented by Montana's Barbecue and Bar. And let's start in the nation's capital, a place I am heading to after the show, as Game 3 of the Battle of Ontario shifts to Ottawa. But there's one question on everyone's mind entering tonight, and it's about the crowd. We've seen it in the regular season. Leafs fans take over Senators games in Ottawa, and I apologize because I will be contributing to that tonight. But this is the first home Sens playoff game since an Eastern Conference Finals win against the Penguins on May 23rd, 2017. So yeah, this is pretty much 8 years in the making. And you gotta assume it'll be a better split than those regular season games, especially since Sens ownership gave season ticket holders the option of buying 2 more seats for playoff games and hoping to keep the arena filled with Sens fans. Now, personally speaking, it wasn't too difficult to find a ticket to this game. It was about $50 more than what I spent for a home game for the Leafs, so I have a feeling you're going to see a lot of blue in that building tonight. On the ice, though, if Ottawa's going to get back in the series, they need to solve Anthony Stolarz, who looks good enough to carry this Leafs team to a cup. In his last 10 starts, regular and postseason combined, he's unbeaten with a 1.48 goals against, .947 save percentage, and 3 shutties. Watching this man cook is such a blessing as a Leafs fan. It's been so hard to watch the person in net get let down and then let down the team time and time again, and to see Stoli do his thing is magical. Now, the last time the Leafs were up 3-0 in a series was way back in 2001, also in the first round and also against the Senators. And in that 3-2 Leafs win to go up 3-0, they got goals from Matt Sundin, Nick Antropov, and an OT winner from Corey Cross. When's the last time you said Cross? Like, what? You're like, you don't even see those jerseys, you know? So we're gonna finish up here with the Roberto reaction meter. I am absolutely delighted at this point in time. I'm delighted that Leafs are up 2-0. I am so happy to be going to the visiting team's home arena. We're gonna let loose. So you better jack that meter up, brother. And delighted is apparently not on the meter, so we'll go with ecstatic. I don't even like saying the word ecstatic. It doesn't sound like it should be a word. And it's hard to spell. So hard to spell, hard to say. Why is it on the meter? I don't know. We got a big Game 3 tonight between the Jets and Blues as well. And big in the sense that if the Blues go down 3-0, this thing is probably over. The good news for St. Louis is that they're back on home ice. And a series doesn't really start until you've lost at home. And that's something they have not really done recently. The Blues have won 12 in a row on home ice and haven't lost in regulation at home in 14 straight. They're also facing a goalie that struggled recently on the road in the playoffs. Connor Hellebuck, their future Vezina and maybe Hart Trophy winner, has been stellar through 2 games, crushing the narrative that he's a poor playoff performer. However, in his last 7 road starts in the playoffs, he's 1-6 and has allowed 3 or more goals in all of those losses. Winnipeg Stars have been their best players so far through 2 games of the series. And if that continues, it could be curtains for the Blues. Kyle Connor and Mark Scheifele, who are the 2 leading point getters for the Jets this season, have combined for 4 of Winnipeg's 7 goals and have 9 total points. When you compare that to the Blues' leading scorers this season, it's not even a contest, as Robert Thomas and Jordan Kyrou have combined for just 2 goals and 2 points. Honestly, the Jets have been cooking. It's hard to imagine them not continuing to cook this series. To the association, and hands down the best series so far of these playoffs is back tonight, as the Nuggets and Clippers shift their series to LA for Game 3. And the way things have gone through 2 games, it really feels like we're destined for another classic tonight. We gotta start with Kawhi Leonard, because what we saw in Game 2 brought us back to peak Kawhi in the Raptors title run. Just look at these numbers. 39 on 15 of 19 shooting, are you kidding me? That was his 36th career playoff game with 30 or more points. Among active players, only LeBron, Durant, Curry, and Harden have more. So yeah, pretty elite company. Now, it's hard to say in a game where Nikola Jokic had 26, 11, and 10, while going 4 of 8 from 3, that he needs to be better, but that's just the truth. As he also had 7 turnovers in the loss, including the one you just saw, which was pretty much the nail in the Nuggets' coffin. You can watch Game 3 to the Nuggets and Clippers tonight on TSN, but that's just one of a triple header, as we got the Knicks and Pistons at 7, and Grizz and Thunder at 9:30. Now joined by our gambling guy, Wes Cheng. Great to see you, Wes.
Great to see you, Marissa.
Okay, Wes, we just talked about it, but the series we can't get enough of is this heavyweight tilt between the Nuggets and Clippers. Game 2 had everyone thinking we were seeing vintage 2019 Kawhi. Looking at his props, do you see anything you like, or are we overreacting to Game 2?
I like a 2-leg parlay of Kawhi to get 20 points and to get 4 dimes. I think the prices are fair where they have him right now. It's a slight overreaction at best in terms of his performance. You look at that Game 2, that was the 2nd most efficient scoring night he's had in his playoff career, where he had at least 10 field goal attempts. Is he gonna shoot at that clip in the mid-range? Very unlikely, but there is a confidence and force that he is playing with right now that Denver is surely not going to ignore. I expect them to put more bodies on him, and there should be more opportunities for Dimes to get his teammates some open looks.
Okay, you've got 3 games tonight. Give us your best better. Cook up a little parlay for us.
I like Cat to go over his points and assists combo. A lot of noise was made about him going scoreless in the second half of that game too, and it's no surprise that the Knicks had a 29-point drop-off between games. But to me, this is opportunity, and 2 stats jump out about it. Number 1, his usage rate, way down from the regular season versus the playoffs. Not sure why. He's also the only starter shooting above 50% in this series. So I think they gotta make an effort to get the ball to him more, especially with Tobias Harris being on him as the primary defender in several of these possessions. He's also had a good regular season track record versus Detroit, so I think that's the key here in Game 3.
You know I would tail, but I don't want any of my stink on those bets. I want people to have money more than me, okay? Wes Cheng, a pleasure as always.
Well, look, either way, I appreciate being here.
You can watch a triple header of NBA action tonight on TSN. Start at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific with the Knicks and Pistons. Then at 9:30, Thunder Grizz. And at 10, the Nuggets and Clippers. That's it for me today. I'm headed to our nation's capital for Game 3. That means you will see me here tomorrow, but in our nation's capital. I've never been to Ottawa before. If you're a proper person from Ottawa, give me something to do. I heard there's not a lot. Let me know.